Oh, okay. Hello and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. I'm Jake Moss, joined here by my fellow Puce. And today's show, we have another jam-packed show. To start it off, I'll begin with Buffalo State football. Buffalo State football traveled to Ithaca last weekend to play the Ithaca Bombers, their sixth conference matchup within the Liberty League, where they fell by a score of 49-7. This was a game where a lot of the game was decided in the red zone, where Buffalo State came away with 0 points from the red zone, and not only that, but threw a pick six in their own in the red zone. So ultimately, causing them could say 28-point swing if everything was to go their way. A pick six thrown early in the game, throwing to Otho Cox, was taken all the way back for an 85-yard return, and a field goal was blocked after reaching the red zone. But between the 20s was where the Buffalo State Bengals showed their strength. And this was where 20-yard line to 20-yard line, excluding both what's referred to as the black zone and the red zone, was absolute easy for Buffalo State. They were moving the ball consistently. They were moving it in the passing game and the running game, the RPO game. It was all working. And it was just once they got to that condensed field on either side, that's where they struggled. They will look to at least match their best record in the past 6 years from last year with 3 wins. And their remaining schedule will have a home game, which is senior night against St. Lawrence this next weekend, followed by a game where they will travel to Hobart. These are 2 teams that are also in the bottom of the Liberty League. Currently, those 3 teams make up the 7, 6, and 5 slots, with Buffalo State making up the 7. All 3 teams ahead of Hilbert, who is currently yet to win a game. And Hobart stands at the best record of 3-5, while St. Lawrence is 2-6. St. Lawrence does hold the same conference record as Buffalo State, both sitting at 1-4. So a lot that's winnable for Buffalo State looking ahead at the rest of the season, and we'll see if they can match at least last year's record. And with that, I'll pass it over to Puce.
In Buffalo State men's basketball news, the Buffalo State Bengals season tips off this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Cayuga College. I spoke with second-year guard Orion De Jesus. He said that he's made a lot of improvements this offseason. One of the biggest improvements that he has made, not just in his game, but it's in his mentality. He says he wants to be a better leader for this Buffalo State Bengals teams by helping our teammates, finding his open shots, and helping our teammates when he can, if that means on or off the basketball court. When asked to describe the team, De Jesus simply said, and I quote, "We're nothing. We haven't proven anything, so we just go out there and play." It's clear that Orion De Jesus is operating under the mantra that nothing is given, but instead it is earned. It will be interesting to see where this team can go starting this Saturday as the season tips off, and we'll keep you guys updated on all news and updates regarding the Buffalo State Bengals and all Buffalo State sports right here on Buffalo Sports Insider. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're going to take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, we're back. Buffalo Sports Insider. This is Thomas Bailey here with Joe Marguccio, and Thomas is going to talk about some women's soccer.
Yes, sir. We have a very good Buffalo State Bengals women's soccer team. Is for the first time since 2016. The women's soccer team won a playoff game. On top of that, they had a home game in this situation. They would win this one, a 3-1 win against New Paltz, as they just barely snuck into the playoffs a couple days beforehand. And it was a very tight race between the 3 through 6. So Buffalo State ended up with the 4 seed and had the right to host a playoff game, which was very good for the Buffalo State Bengals, obviously. The last time they played New Paltz, they were on the road and they tied 1-1 in New Paltz. This time being at home proved to be the difference, especially for sophomore forward Olivia Kilmer. She had a hat trick in the game, her second career hat trick, second of the season as well. She had another one earlier in the season against Hilbert College. So being able to do it in a playoff setting like this is truly phenomenal for her. So congratulations to her as well. After the win, obviously, for the Buffalo State Bengals, they advanced to the semifinals of the SUNYAC Conference Play Championship bracket, which now they will take down, hopefully, Cortland's Red Dragons, who are the number 1 seed in the entire tournament, thanks to the 6th-seeded Fredonia Blue Devils taking down Oswego State in a 3-6 upset, as Oswego State lost 1-0 in double overtime. We know those two teams were pretty gassed. Senior midfielder Lindsay DiPietro took her great time to speak with me about this Cortland Red Dragon team, and she stated that they are a great team. We know that. They play well defensively, and that's our biggest challenge. We know we're a good team, and we're all the more confident, but we know the stakes as well as anyone. DiPietro is referring to their last matchup when they played at home against Cortland and lost 2-0. So hopefully they'll look to switch that narrative, but this time it'll be a lot harder being on the road in Cortland against a Red Dragons team that did not lose a game in conference play all season. So that will be a tough task for them. The game is actually today at 4 p.m., so go Buffalo State. Hopefully they can get it done and head to the SUNYAC Conference Championship for the first time since 2016. Good luck to them. The winner of this game will take on either Fredonia or Plattsburgh, which will be decided tomorrow. So good luck to Buffalo State, and that is it.
All right, go Bengals, man. The
Yeah,
girls
go
soccer, man.
Bengals.
That's great, man. I know a few on the team. I remember Lindsay. She's a good player.
Oh, yeah, she is.
All right, we'll be back with our third segment. We'll be talking some hockey.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Very right.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
And welcome back. So today with me, I have Cooper, and we're going to be talking a little bit of hockey as well as some women's wrestling. That's correct, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Cooper, I'll let you take it away. Let's talk women's wrestling.
Okay. So the Buffalo State team had their first match on Sunday in the John Carroll round robin. Rosa Aponte was in second place. Brooke Tarshis was in third place, and Cece Williams was in fifth place from the Buffalo State team. The next match will be November 12th at Ithaca College, and it will take, upcoming games will take place in the basketball gym until the new wrestling stadium is finished.
All right. Let's talk Sabres. So, unfortunately, Both teams fought pretty hard, very hard, but it wasn't enough. They lost in overtime, 2-1. Both teams played very hard. I know I said that already, but it's true. It's noteworthy, honestly. I mean, only 2 goals between both teams in the third period. That's a long game. That's 40 full minutes of no goals. And I don't know about you, it's not the most exciting hockey to watch, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is Velmeka and Lyon both stood on their heads last night. They really did. Lyon kept the Sabres in, as did Velmeka, but Austin's goal for Buffalo was crazy, to say the least. He got the rebound off the glass from a wide shot. That was an interesting goal. Unfortunately, though, Clayton Keller basically walked in and around Jack Quinn in overtime, and ended the overtime with a 5-goal goal, which is a little embarrassing. But what are you going to do? Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Buffalo Sabres plan on playing at 7 p.m. tomorrow at the KeyBank Center against the St. Louis Blues. They're currently 5-4-4. Go Sabres, because, yeah, go Sabres. And that's all we have for now. And we're going to take it back with Thomas and Joe with even more sports.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
So when you talk about wrestling, you have to really compare what happened last season to what happened this season. So we definitely have some new members, Charisma and Taylor, along with the remaining members, Cece, Brooke, and Rosa. And they're definitely doing so great. I'm very glad that they were able to go out there in John Carroll and bring home some wins for us, especially because last year was definitely not the best season with us just starting out. So I'm very glad that we can go out there and try something new and be more positive, especially with the new coach, Coach Shefflett. When you got the chance to talk to him, how was he like?
He was very down to earth. He was very serious. He was very excited for the new season and to work with Buff State in general.
Yeah, honestly, I would say the same. Meeting him and getting to know him as our new coach, especially with the assistant coach, it's been a great opportunity because you can definitely see his passion and his will to teach the girls about what they want to do and about where he was and what he did with wrestling, because like you said, he was a wrestler for however many years. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think since high school. I know he was definitely a college wrestler.
Yeah,
himself.
I know he was really in there. Like, I've seen his cauliflower ear, so he was really getting in the
Yep.
dirt. So I'm really glad that we have somebody like him to bring back the program, especially after with having Coach Conti, and can't wait to see what we do for this season.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
everybody, and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. Once again, my name is Thomas Bailey, joined alongside Joe Marduccio as we are set for another episode, or at least segment for our Buffalo Sports Insider show. Joe, you are going to be talking about some high school football. What can you tell us about, I believe, the playoffs?
No, actually, I could talk a little playoffs. But first of all, I took a little road trip over the weekend. I took a camping trip and stopped down in Randolph to see a small school game, a Class D, the smallest class there is in New York. And I was at Randolph, and they were playing Silver Creek / Forestville, two high schools put together just to form a football team. I mean, there's some teams that have like 4 high schools put together. But this was a game I thought Randolph was going to win. But on the opening drive, Forestville and / Silver Creek held the ball for almost the entire quarter. It was an 82-yard drive culminated by an 8-yard tush push. I mean, they only needed, I think it was like third and a yard, and they just needed like 1 yard. All of a sudden, you just seen this pile moving. And you see a lot of players stop. Like they thought the whistle had blown, and the pile just kept moving, and all of a sudden more guys started pushing, and the ref put his arms up, touchdown, and the Randolph coach, he's out at midfield, he's yelling, he's screaming, he didn't think it should be a touchdown, he thought the whistle should have been blown, but that was it. I mean, the rest of the game, Silver Creek's offensive line, I put this in my paper, I'm not even looking at paper, they were like a road grader moving dirt. They just kept plowing and plowing and plowing. And they held the ball almost like 35 minutes out of 48 minutes. And they bought. The real story of this game turns out after the game when I talked to the Silver Creek coach. They lost their first game. That second game, they got beat up so bad, was his exact quote. We got beat up so bad in week 1, we had to forfeit week 2. They didn't have enough kids to play week 2.
Wow.
So he said he rallied a bunch of 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. He said they had to get them to buy in, commit to forming a team, sticking together and sticking it out. They lost their first 5. Their 5th game was against Newfane, who is 9-0, who they play this week. But that second half of that game was 6-6. They lost to them, but they haven't lost since. They have not lost since they played Newfane way back in week 5. I mean, that says a lot for a team to come together like that, win 3 games, then win a playoff game. Now they got the big task of taking on Newfane, who has a 6'4", 235 quarterback. Now this is in Class D. That's a big kid.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Matt Capon. He only has 10 touchdowns passing. He has 35 touchdowns rushing.
Wow.
He is just a beast out there. I don't know what game I'm going to this weekend. I kind of want to go see this game. You know, it's a hike to drive up there to Newfane, but it just might be worth the game to go to. The other big game this week, it's Bennett is playing Lancaster, 2 big schools going at it. But last time Bennett rushed for 442 yards against a big team. I mean, Lancaster's a suburb out there, and Bennett's a city school, but they have 2 backs that obviously put some numbers together to get 442 yards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good game. Health Science is going to be another good game. Health Science, they got the big rushing attack, but overall, these kids now this weekend are the semifinals. The winners will be playing at Highmark next weekend, and then the Rochester teams will be coming in here the following weekend to play at Will South, and you got to go a couple more times on the road to win the state championship. So we're just getting started in high school football, and I love high school football. Man. To me, it's like it's pure, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because even college now, they're getting paid. You know, the pros, they're all getting paid tons of money. So that's it for my high school football wrap up this week, and.
Yeah, what a great segment there. You know, obviously a lot of very good teams, a lot of good football left to be played in all 4 classes majorly. Yeah. So we'll see what ends up happening. But we'll be right back with both Jake Moss and Pius Katengi to talk their next segment on Buffalo Sports Insider after this.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's lumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do.
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to Buffalo Sports Insider. My name is Jake Moss, joined here by Pius Katengi. And we're going to talk some more NFL. Obviously, the big topic of discussion is a trade deadline. Before we get to that, we'll just recap what we did last week. A few matchups to highlight. Personally, my favorite matchup this week that I'm looking forward to is Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I think these are two teams where they're kind of trending in opposite directions. Both are contending for the AFC title, and both are currently leading their division. So I think this will be an exciting game to see whether or not the Chargers can keep their offense going after losing Joe Alt and trading for Trevor Penning, or if Pittsburgh is going to continue rolling and this defense is really going to figure everything out. What about you, Pius?
I think the biggest matchup I'm looking this week would have to be the Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are very hurt right now. They've got a lot of injuries across the offensive side of the ball. But we're looking at the Patriots. We talk about Drake May. We talk about him having an MVP season. This is a type of match where I am expecting the Patriots to come out on top. But on any given Sunday, any team can lose. And we've seen that in the NFL this season. So that will be a matchup that I'll be looking forward to the most this week.
Absolutely. And now into the top topic of discussion. The trade deadline did not disappoint, with 13 total trades being made up until the deadline, with 8 of them being made on deadline day.
Wow.
Obviously, the big seller being the New York Jets. Now, the one thing I wanted to touch on with the New York Jets is they got a big haul for their 2 players. And honestly, I think even though they lose so much talent in those 2 players, still win the trades. The point for me is it was reported that they had a 4th-round pick from KC on the table for Breece Hall, a 2nd-round pick on the table for Jermaine Johnson, and multiple teams calling for Garrett Wilson. If you're a team that's going to just sell everything, you sell your top corner who you just extended, you sell your multi-time all-pro defensive tackle, I don't see the point in keeping those guys, especially when you have picks on the table for some of them.
Yes, and I absolutely 100% agree with you. I don't understand the logic that went into this. I understand the concept of blowing up a team and starting all over again. But if you're going to do that, like you said, Jake, you have to commit. You have to fully commit, get rid of the guys. I mean, this was a monumental trade. The Sauce Gardner trade, it is the 2nd time in 30 years that multiple 1st-round picks were used on one trade. That is insane. And we have to talk about that. They got rid of Quinnen Williams, who was a 3-time Pro Bowl in the previous 3 seasons, for a 26 2nd-round pick and a 27 1st-round pick. I mean, that's very – I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a very interesting way of managing football, and I'm not a general manager, so I wouldn't know. But it's –
No, I'm sorry, but
go on.
Not to mention, they just fired their GM.
Yeah.
His GM has only been a general manager for 2 weeks, and he managed to trade their 2 superstars for 2 replacements and then 3 1st-round picks and a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, and the biggest telling with these trades, you know, we look at where these players have gone, Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys and Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. We can look at those teams, the Cowboys and the Colts, and we can determine this season or next season if they won the trade. When it comes to the New York Jets, we'll have to wait 2-3 years after those picks have been made to determine if they won this trade or not. And that'll be very interesting to see.
And the icing on the cake for them is they currently hold 6 1st-round picks over the next 3 years, which is generally the time of the rebuild. To touch on a few other trades, I don't know if you had a favorite, but my favorite was the Rashid Shaheed trade, which I think is our shared opinion here. Giving up a 26-4 and a 26-5 to get him from New Orleans, I thought that was a fairly low price, and not only that, but a really, really good fit. We mentioned last week how Buffalo was in on him and Myers, and ultimately Seattle gets him to open up JSN.
I think even the timing of this trade, it couldn't be more perfect. You got the Seattle Seahawks, who have Cooper Kupp, Jake Bobo, and Derek Young all on the injured list. They need a backup for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And Shaheed proves like he can be that guy. You know, he has two touchdowns this season already. Great receiver for the New Orleans Saints. Added to the Seattle Seahawks team where depth is really needed at that receiver position. The timing couldn't have been more perfect for a 6-2 team looking to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. And the last one I want to mention really quick, Jair Alexander, a player that was very controversial over the offseason. Didn't really know how it was going to end up, gets traded to Baltimore. Baltimore trades him and a 7 to get a 6 from Philly. Philly manages to acquire him and Jalen Phillips. I think this is a very underrated pick because Philly's defense is not very demanding from the DBs.
No, it's not. And I think Jair Alexander will fit in perfectly into Philadelphia. I get the feeling we're going to see the Green Bay Packers, Jair Alexander, play for the Philadelphia Eagles as the season goes towards the playoffs. I want to see him perform. I want to see him do well. He's a great player, great talent. And the Eagles, I wouldn't say they needed him, but it's a great insurance pick to have in that backfield.
Absolutely. We will go to commercial break and come back with our updated weekly NFL Power Rankings.
How was school today?
It was good.
Did you play volleyball?
Yes.
How's your serve coming? I think we'll work on it this weekend.
Amy's slumber party is this weekend.
Is your homework done?
No.
That was the deal we made. If you do...
Hi, Lauren. My name is Katie. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to our final segment where we unveil this week's Power 10. But before I move on to the Power 10, a shout out to our friend in the hospital, Ryan Patoda.
Yes, sir.
Who is ill. He hopefully get better, buddy. All right, this week's number 10, the LA Chargers, 6-3. They terminated the Titans 27-20 at home against Pittsburgh. Oh, I'm sorry.
This week.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is a very good team, but one thing I want to mention here is Pittsburgh is 0-5 in the last 12 months in prime time. And on top of that, the Chargers over the last 12 months are 4-0 in prime time, averaging 29.5 points per game against the Steelers defense that hasn't been that great this season. I could see the Chargers winning this football game. I do think Pittsburgh might sneak into the top 10 next week if they can win this game, spoiler alert. But I do think for at least right now, this Chargers team is looking pretty good. I understand they only won by 7, but a lot of that stuff was a punt return and an interception. So I do think that there's a good chance that this Chargers team is better than what their top 10 ranking is.
I'm intrigued to see how they work out this offensive line, too. I mean, you enter the year without Slater, you lose Joe Alt, you trade for Trevor Penning, an offense that was already struggling last week. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of rotate that.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. I like the way he picked both teams. Spoiler alert, he covered himself.
Yeah.
You got that covered. All right, we got it. Number 9, the Tampa Bay Bucks, 6-2. They were on a much-needed bye.
Yeah, this was a team we mentioned them in Detroit where they're so banged up, a team barely surviving. So I think the game they played right before the bye was not very indicative of what that team can actually do.
Yeah, I agree 110%. They're 6-2, and they're one of the best teams. And another stat I want to mention here is in 5 of the 8 games that Tampa Bay has played this season, the opposing team's quarterback has had to throw the ball 35 times or more. Drake May has not been able to win a game in his career throwing 35 times or more. He's 0-7 in those games so far in his young career, sure, but if he wants to lament himself as a potential MVP candidate, this is the kind of game to do it, and I'm very excited for this.
It's going to be a good one. Number 8, the Detroit Lions, 5-3, were dethroned by the Vikings, 27-24, in an NFC North showdown in Motown.
Oh, yeah.
This week, they're at Washington, plus 8.5. Not Washington State. I'm talking D.C., the District of Corruption.
Still standing.
Still standing.
For now.
The Lions are a team where, again, we talk about them being banged up. Personally, in my poll, did not make the top 10 because this is a team where ultimately the Vikings, I don't think, are a good roster. And not only that, but started J.J. McCarthy in what was only his, 3rd, 4th game? Like, And McCarthy made it happen on both running and throwing the ball. So his efficiency scares me.
Yeah, I think the way you beat the Lions team is exactly what Minnesota did. You got to have a good defense and you got to stop that offense. And if you force that offense into the form that they were in and they have to play catch up, they're going to lose. I still think they're a damn good football team, and I think they'll have everything they need by the end of the season as long as they can stay healthy.
So they beat a J standards.
Oh,
pretty much.
Okay. All right. At number 7, the Denver Broncos, 7-2, toasted the Texans 18-15 on a Will Lutz last-second field goal. They're home against the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Denver's a team that really just needs to convincingly win a game for me.
Yeah.
I have them at 6, but they're a team where we talk about it. They start slow and then they just fourth quarter magic every single week. And this week they win on a game-winning field goal. So I just want to see them actually control a game for all 4 quarters.
I agree 110%. This Denver Broncos team's beaten teams on the surface that should have been good. Teams like the Houston Texans, but they played that second half mainly without C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
I think there's a lot to be said. He almost lost to Jackson Dart if it wasn't for an insane fourth quarter comeback. I understand that they've looked pretty good, and that was before Scatabo got injured, but I think that this is a tough team from Denver, and that 7-2 record is starting to scare me a little bit. You can go out and win in convincing fashion against a division rival like Las Vegas, who put up a fight against Jacksonville. I think you can finally put that to bed and mainstay in this top 10.
All right, at number 6, we have the New England Patriots. 7-2, they squeaked past the Falcons 24-23 because the Falcons missed an extra point.
Yeah, Parker Ramo, who's now gone for Zane Gonzalez, as he should be.
The New England team is an interesting one because there's nothing that really jumps out on the page on you. They're a team that just continuously wins games, and it's exciting to see how this team plays, and especially since no one thought they would be the one actually competing with Buffalo for the division.
Yeah, no, I agree 110%. They're 7-2 right now, and they're a solid football team. And one thing that a lot of people are saying about this game that doesn't make sense to me is how they think that, this is a very bad team in Atlanta or whatever. But at least in my honest opinion, Atlanta's got the best pass defense in the league, and they came out on top.
All right, at number 5, our hometown Bills, 6-2, kiboshed Kansas City 28-21 at Miami.
I think that was a much-needed win for them, not only because it's a good team, but because it's a team that gives a lot of morale to anyone who beats them.
Yeah, this game proved everything that I needed it to prove, and that is that Kansas City is one of those teams that can't really do much in the regular season. They save it all for the playoffs, and James Cook is this offense. Even though Josh Allen had a good game, the Bills have yet to lose this season with Cook over 100 yards rushing, and I think that's going to be a mainstay for this team.
At number 4, the Indianapolis Colts, 7-2, got jolted by the Steelers as the real Daniel Jones showed up. They're the breakfast game this week in Berlin against Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't see Daniel Jones 5 turnovers happening every week. So I think this team will be okay. It's just a matter of it was a really bad game and Pittsburgh played really well.
Pittsburgh's good at run defense, and that's exactly the kind of thing you need to do to take down a team like Indianapolis. Force them to throw the ball. Daniel Jones makes mistakes in those high-pressure situations. That's what he did in New York. That's what he's going to do here. It's not a different Daniel Jones, the same old guy. They're just trying to make it work with him, and he's showed that he can make it work. They just got to kind of fix those things.
Yep.
At number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles, 6-2, were on a bye. They're at the Packers.
I think Philadelphia is kind of crazy right now. They're 7-0 in the month of November, and that is a huge stat for the last 2 seasons. I think that they are one of those teams that just always gets better and stuff. And if you look at Howie Roseman, if they have any problems in the first couple months, they're going to fix them at the trade deadline, and that's exactly what they did this year again. Expect Philadelphia to be better. 3 might be a little low this week, considering the turmoil that we've had in the league.
Absolutely. And with them getting Alexander and Jalen Phillips, it fixes the only 2 issues with that defense, which has been the over-the-top passing and the pass rush.
Exactly.
I'll take the packet home. Number 2, the Rams, 6-2, nuked New Orleans 34-10. That game was where? At Frisco?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rams are, again, Stafford's doing it all, and I think he's putting together a pretty good MVP campaign, and it's exciting to see how that'll kind of carry out throughout the year, especially with Puka being back.
Yeah, I agree 110%. This was almost like a get-right game for them. They tuned up the offense, got the defense on all cylinders, and I think they'll be good down the stretch.
They lost the last time they played, 26-23.
Yeah, the 49ers. And it was a good game, though. It was a good game, and I think this time they'll hone in on McCaffrey.
At number 1, there's a few people going to be shocked, but we got the Seattle Seahawks, 6-2. They wowed Washington 38-14.
It's an exciting one to see too, because Sam Darnold proved last year he's the guy. It's just a matter of he's got to have a system that works, and this year he's proving he's the guy. Like it's a consistency basis for him where he's actually making it work and being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, he's showing everything he did at USC. He's a true pocket passer, in my opinion. He can go out and he can make plays with his legs if absolutely needed, but he is going to sit in that pocket and work that magic. And with a wide receiver like JSN and even Torrey Horton, who's really shocked some people, and now Rashid Shaheed after the deadline, I fully expect Seattle to keep it rolling.
All right, we'll see tomorrow night. They play Arizona, and we'll see what happens. That's the show for this week. Stay tuned for our commercials. And you guys want to talk social media real quick?
Yeah, just shout out to X, shout out to YouTube, of course, and please follow us on the Buffalo Sports Insider website for more stories like this.
Shout out to Steve. End the show.